Okay, everybody, final thoughts for Barbarians, the Invasion. And all right, first of all, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Using me for scale, considering the fact that I'm a 6'3" guy, this is a big box, and this is a ginormous, absolutely ridiculous table devouring game. I have never tried to film anything quite as big as this. But I should point out, I've actually talked to developers about this. So they have anticipated the concern about this size. And if you go to the Kickstarter page, you can learn a little bit more about it. They are planning on a more reasonable size box and a more reasonable size board. My understanding is actually there's two versions of the game. The regular one, which will be much more Ticket to Ride sized, I guess, and then the deluxe one, which will be almost as big as this. The deluxe one comes with the really gorgeous miniatures. The smaller, more Euro-y one comes with wooden blocks and wooden discs and wooden meeples. So if you're more cost conscious and space is a premium, you can go for the game that'll look a little bit more like the rest of your worker placement games, or you can go for the big epic one that looks like a dude on a maps game, even though that's not what Barbarians the Invasion is, and that's why I like it so much. This is a thematically rich game. It really comes to life. It feels like a dude on the maps game. It feels kind of like an area control thing as you are slowly working your way across this map, getting more technology to sail across the seas to get further, targeting the specific factions so that you're more easily able to defeat them without hemorrhaging as many resources. But while that's what it looks like, this is a worker placement game. This is a cube pusher. You just can't tell because the cubes are so gorgeous. Again, check out that Kickstarter page. You are converting food and lumber into archers, and you are using those archers to win battles to generate victory points. And I don't say that as a bad way. I love that. That's my favorite kind of game. But it's so nice to have that style of gameplay in a theme that is very decidedly not the norm. This is not trading in the Mediterranean. This is not some medieval economic simulation of trying to run a town. We are bloodthirsty barbarians who live on a volcano. Could you get more metal than that? And are streaming and trying to see our enemies scatter before us and hear the lamentations of their women and all of that Conan type stuff. And if all that was enough, I really do appreciate the fact that it's a good, solid worker placement, goods conversion, resource generating game. It works really well at that. But that's not what gets me so excited. That's not why I said, yes, I would love to find out more about this game when the publishers contacted me to do a run-through. It's this volcano. I absolutely love this. There are so many worker placement games on the market. I've played so many of them, and it is so rare to get something truly new and interesting, a new twist on worker placement, and this delivers because of the way this volcano rotates under player control. The more gods you get, the more opportunities you have to forge your own destiny by literally changing the landscape we live on to get access to the actions I want to do. Because every round you're going to do 3 actions, maybe 4 sometimes, and you're kind of limited by where you start. Okay, I start here, then that means I got to kind of work my way down here. I start here, and then that means I come down here, but then I rotate this over here, and now I get access to completely different stuff. That is totally awesome. And while it's interesting both as a means of agency and control that you can really gives yourself a lot of interesting strategy. It also creates a very interesting dynamic world because at the beginning of the round I might say, if I choose that, then I'm going to be able to do that and that. That's going to be perfect. But then before I know it, players have rotated the volcano and suddenly I'm on the other side of the world. And what am I going to do? Well, I've got my own gods, so maybe I'll rotate them back. But if I'm using my gods to rotate this, that means I'm throwing away their other ability to get troops for free or get resources for free or any number of other things. So those are always very interesting decisions. How to use our gods every round. How to use our war chiefs. Save them for the battles, which only happen every once in a while, so you can keep reusing them, or sacrifice them immediately to get some really big boost right up front. And then also, there are 8 technology tracks to be developing and focusing on over the course of the game. Each one of them, which gives you a really big bonus if you're the first to make it to the end. So we're racing on technology. We're racing, if both you and I are mastering a particular faction, we're going to race to wipe out that faction because they're the easiest for both of us to beat. There's also big bonuses for being the first to hit every island. So there's a big race to have sail to be able to reach the furthest south before anybody else. It's a sharp, sharp game, and it's quick. It's a 7-round game, or it can end early if somebody hits 100 points. And every round, with 3 actions, it goes by. and it's just a blast. This is a really fun worker placement game. And also, I just gotta say, I absolutely love the toy nature of this. Obviously this is a 3D prototype, 3D printer prototype. I don't know what the real thing's gonna look like. I mean, hopefully it looks a little bit more like a volcano. I don't really know. I know one thing. The prototype I have, these walls are so tall, the Jen and I found we often have to stand up. You saw on the run-through, I had to stand up to be able to see all my options. They know that's a problem, and they are gonna make it shorter so that you should be able to, from wherever you're sitting at the table, be able to see all the way around without having to stand up. I gotta be honest, Jen and I kind of liked standing up. It's nice to have a game where, there's a 3D physicality. As I put my thing down, I'm it almost feels like I'm literally physically exploring the board. So I have kind of mixed feelings about that. I think it's the right choice to shorten this, to make the volcano a little bit more squat so people don't have to stand up. But like I said, we like standing up. It's rare that a game actually gets us off our seats. And it's a good thing to stand up every once in a while when you're playing a board game for 90 minutes or something like that. But wow, I am really, really impressed by this game. And that's it, folks. That is Barbarians: The Invasion. Really fun game. I was really surprised, enjoyed it quite a bit, and thanks for watching. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, please let me know. Apologies for any goofs I made. I know I was forgetting to use gods and whatnot, but hopefully, like I said, all I want to do with these run-throughs is give you an idea of what it feels like to play, so you can decide whether you want to back this big boy, and I mean big boy. So, thanks again for watching, everybody. Hope you have a very, very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.